Captain Eli Vance never meant to buy a slave. He'd come to the black market world of Dravari, 6 to rescue a missing crewmate. But instead, he found her, thin, bruised, locked in a rusted cage barely big enough to sit up straight. The auctioneer called her Lot 43, untrained Xenobride, half price due to behavioral damage. She wasn't property. She was a person. So he drew his sidearm, burned down the gate, and carried her out in his arms while the slaver screamed. Her name was Eris's E, and she wasn't a bride. She was a technician's daughter from a planet that had been raided years ago. She'd been taken at 15. Now, at 21 standard cycles, she'd known only chained commands and fear. It took weeks on Eli's ship, the Starward Flame, before she even spoke. She slept curled up on the floor of the med bay, ate with her hands, and flinched at sudden sounds. But Eli never touched her without asking, never shouted, never forced. Bit by bit, her shell cracked. She started speaking, eating at the table, sleeping in his quarters. That was the part he didn't understand. The first night she snuck into his bed, he awoke to find her curled on the very edge, shivering. He tried to gently move her back to her quarters, but she clung to him like he was gravity itself. "I won't disturb," she whispered. "Just warmth. Please." He couldn't say no. Now, 3 weeks later, she wouldn't sleep anywhere else. Every night, like a quiet ritual, she'd pad into his room and slide under the blanket. No touching, no conversation, just presence. Eli didn't push it. But tonight was different. "I do not understand," she said suddenly as he adjusted the lighting. He blinked. "Understand what?" She looked up at him from her usual place on the bed, frowning in thought. "You treat me like I am important, not useful, not broken. But you have not touched me." Eli stiffened. "Touched you? In the ways males are supposed to." She said simply, "I know how it works. I was trained to know." Eli sat down, careful to keep distance. "Eris, I didn't rescue you for that. You're free. No one touches you unless you want it." She tilted her head, ears twitching in confusion. "But I am in your bed. That means permission, yes?" "No," he said gently. "That just means you feel safe here. And that's enough." She studied him like he was a puzzle. "You are strange." He laughed softly. "I've been called worse." Then came the moment that caught him completely off guard. She shifted closer, sat up, and very seriously asked, "So, do you want to touch my breast?" Eli turned a shade paler than lunar ice. "What?" he choked. "I read it," she said, gesturing at the datapad he'd given her. "Human intimacy. It begins with mutual contact. You have not initiated. So I must." "Eris, no. That's not how it works. That's intimate, emotional, and it only happens when both people feel something." "I do feel something," she said, voice quiet. "When you hold the door open for me. When you call me by name. When you gave me that shirt that smells like you." She paused, placing her hand on her chest. "It beats faster. Here. It's confusing." Eli took a long breath, steadying himself. "That's not something to rush," he said gently. "It's something we talk about, grow into. I do care about you, Eris. But I care about all of you, not just your body." She looked at her hands. "In slavery, only my body mattered. You confuse me." He placed his hand over hers, light, warm, not forceful. "That confusion, that's called healing. You're learning what love really means." Later that night, she didn't ask to be touched. She didn't offer herself. Instead, she tucked herself into the blankets beside him and whispered, "Will you stay?" "I'm not going anywhere," he said softly. Her fingers found his, and for the first time, she slept without trembling. Epilogue months later. Eris now wore a uniform, navigator trainee on the Starwood Flame. She was fierce, brilliant, and could now outfly most of the crew. She still shared Eli's quarters. But now when she slid into bed, she didn't ask confusing questions. She didn't need to. He'd earned her trust, not through desire, but through patience. And eventually, when her heart was ready, she kissed him first.